Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, YouTubers. This is Jerry Diamond with How to Get Out of Babylon and, no apologies, Flat Earth Homeland. This is going to be an extremely somber, warning, prophetic, whatever you want to call it, predictive, interpretive. I'm going to be putting some big picture things together, and the picture is not pretty, so just for the heck of it, I thought I would start off with because I want people to relocate here and buy farms. Here is a warning sign. If you want to move out here and move out in the country, this is something you have to be aware of. Notice this property is a farm. Farms have animals, and animals make funny sounds. Smell bad, they have sex outdoors. Unless you can tolerate noise, odors, and outdoor sex, don't buy property next to a farm. And don't buy a farm. Alright, enough of that. Okay. This is going to be making some connections, like I said. And that is kind of funny, and yet it isn't. It's sad. You know, there's a woman who actually wanted to file a lawsuit against a dairy farmer because of the odors and the smells, and she said, why can't you just buy your milk where everybody else buys their milk at the grocery store? So, not realizing that he delivers milk to the grocery store for all practical purposes. Okay, I did these videos. I did about 4 of them, and they were just not good. So I'm redoing them, and I hope I have time to get a couple done. I'm going to keep them at 15 minutes, so I can possibly someday upload them to Flat Earth Homeland if I ever get around to it. This is a story. I read the thing in full. I'm not going to do that. I want to get on to what I'm talking about. So, I call this the high price of free corn. It's titled The Price of Free Corn, but based on a story by George Gordon. And you can look it up. That's the title of it. Very easy to find on the internet. Sit down, read it. It's a very telling story. Old guy goes into a swamp in Georgia, asks where the Okefenokee swamp is. The people say, don't go there. I lost my leg, I lost my arm, I lost my brother. The trapper says, well, I'm going to go anyway. He buys corn, 10 bags of corn, comes back 2 weeks later, buys another 10 bags, comes 2 weeks later, buys another 2 bags, 10 bags. Then one morning he comes in and says, I need to hire 10 or 15 wagons, I need 20 or 30 men, I have 6,000 hogs out in the swamp penned up, they're all hungry, I've got to get them to market right away. Okay, so this thing is, by giving them free corn and putting up the fence gradually, incrementally, first the post with no bars, then the bars, 1 bar, and then 2 bars, and then 3 bars, and then 4 bars, etc., etc., etc. You know, he supposedly trapped 6,000 hogs. So, it is a story. These hogs can go through concrete. 6,000 of them. Nah. One guy out there. No, I'm sorry. I mean, I hate to. It's a cool story, but it is true in the sense of it is happening to us. When you raise the temperature on the water just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, a degree or 2 at a time, you can boil frogs alive. Okay, we are the frogs. We have been born being boiled alive. That's what I'm going to go into here. The high price of free corn, free food. Okay. The issue of ISIS beheading people, and we're getting used to seeing those, even though it's probably on a green screen and it's completely bogus, we are getting used to seeing people being beheaded. Okay. In the Quran, we'll go into it in a minute, but in the Quran it talks about unbelievers, infidels, would be beheaded. The Noahide laws, which is 7 laws, they predate the 10 Commandments, supposedly. They provide for the penalty of idolatry of worshiping a false god, the penalty is beheading, and it can be, a person can be condemned to death on the testimony of one. Doesn't have to be a witness. Accusation. Okay. And we're seeing that in life. I mean, I saw that in my beheading, per se. The kangaroo court that Norm Farnham held against me. No laws were mentioned. No witnesses were taken. One accusation from one person, and I was excommunicated. I was, my body was separated from the rest of the body. My head was separated from the rest of the body, even though I was the probably only legitimate elder there. Old Testament and New Testament both says accusations are not to be taken against an elder except on the testimony of 2 or 3 witnesses. Okay, so the Noahide laws, March 26, 1991, Education Day, USA. Oh, what a wonderful thing. Yeah, this is education. So I'm not going to go into this. Look it up yourself. This is a law that has been signed into effect in our country, or at least has been recognized as part of Education Day. So, by George Bush Sr., 1991, and probably George Bush Jr. and Clinton and Obama, gleefully, probably. And one of the first things that the Zionists did when Trump got in office was to stand over him and made damn sure that he signed it. So it's been signed in, like all other laws, repeatedly. You'll see pictures of the a guillotine like this. This thing looks like it's very operable. It has probably bearings and rollers here, 2 sets, so it comes down very straight, very fast. You can see a crank down here on the right, a little geared winch for raising it. Table, person could stand up against that, gets slid, just flop down, and a big basket on the other side, and you've got capability of doing some serious damage to people very rapidly. I'm not going to go into a lot on it. I'm assuming this is Photoshop. This is a picture of, you can see some protesters here. They're arm locked. Faces covered, black handkerchiefs. So I'm not seeing any red handkerchiefs, so it's probably not Antifa. Anti-fascist Antifa. If you don't know about that, look it up. You better educate yourself real quickly, because these people are heavily armed, and they intend to cause some serious damage in this country. It's going to get bloody here real quick. So, law enforcement obviously on this side, and protesters. And the guillotine might be photoshopped. I'm not saying anything about are there 30,000 of them in the country. You can read about it on your own. I will say this. Would this be a coincidence that 2,000 years ago the Apostle John the Revelator, said, "And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them. They sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of Jesus and for the word of God, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or in their hands, and they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years." Okay. And as far as the Yeshua and Yahweh, the sacred names, I would just point out a cautionary on that issue, that for 2,000 years, hundreds of thousands and millions of people have been tortured and martyred for the name of Jesus. I am not aware of anyone who has been martyred in the name of Yeshua. I'm not saying that Yeshua is not a better pronunciation, or Yahshua, or Yahashua, or whatever name of the week or de jour, name of the day, that people come up with for deity. I'm just saying that there was an instance, I think in Minnesota, a bridge collapsed. A woman went in her car from the upper level of the bridge to the lower level, slammed down. A second later, right next to her, another car slammed down, and she had time to say one word in that space of time, Jesus, and a cement truck landed on the car next to her. She was untouched. So, just a point. Many people I know that are sacred name oriented are, I would have to say, cowards. I'm not thinking of anybody in particular. Well, yes, I am. But just because of things I've heard people say. If you think I'm talking about you, I'm not. But anyway. All right, moving right along. This is supposedly a military facility. Nothing to really that indicate that except for this guy back here that kind of sort of a green color. This could be photoshopped in, no big deal. The guillotine again could be photoshopped in. Who knows? Does not make any difference. NASA has photoshopped billions of fantasies into our minds, and we are just now becoming the wiser for it. So none of this, I'm saying, is legitimately proven pictures. You could put this in Photoshop right now, and you could tell if it's real or not. Same thing with that earlier picture. You can put it into Photoshop and see whether it has been doctored like the Earth being seen from Apollo orbit, completely Photoshopped. The Earth rising from the moon, Photoshopped. Garbage, cartoons. So, same thing with all of the little blue marbles from space, Photoshopped, garbage, freaking cartoons. With sex written in the clouds and duplicate patterns, about 59 duplicate patterns. Alright, so, now where are we going? Okay, where we're going here is this is Alec Baldwin, the movie star, quote unquote, he says, and he is standing in front of the Hollywood sign above Los Angeles, and he's standing in front of the H, and the H has a door in it, and it opens, like the door to hell, Hades. Or you could say Hollywood, witch's wand. That is what Hollywood is. Okay? And he begins to say that people say that TV rots the brain. He said that's absurd. This is in Spanish, but absurdo. That's absurd. No, it doesn't. It just softens it like a ripe banana. But we have invented Hulu to complete the transformation. He talks about it for a while and then says, oh, I'm drooling, because it turns the human brain into mushy goo. Cottage cheese. We will scoop your brain out like melon balls and enjoy them. And then he says, I think I'm drooling. He takes out his handkerchief. He said, it's because we're aliens. That's how we roll, quote unquote. Okay, a little alien tentacle comes out, a little hand, three-fingered alien thing, and straightens his tie, touches his hair up, and then straightens his tie. Again, I already did this once before, so I'm going to kind of speed it up. This is another guy, I don't know his name, but he is a TV star, quote unquote. He is in a secret Hulu laboratory. He got in by going through the sidewalk at Milton Berle on the Sidewalk of Stars, that thing. The Milton Berle thing lets down. He goes subterranean, goes down in the depths of this underground military base. And this is your head, this is your brain on TV. Heat lamps. This is your brain on Hulu. This is your brain on Hulu Plus. And he blends it. And then he says, and this is your brain with a sprig of mint. And he proceeds to drink it. And this little character here says, kind of androgynous, a hermaphrodite, or whatever. He or she, kind of a woman's voice, chubby-looking, bald-haired-looking guy with sideburns. Character says, ooh, that's hot. And the little tentacle alien thing comes out of his coat and touches his hair up and whatnot. So, Dennis Leary, the asshole, done a lot of movies, but a smart aleck comedian and musician, has a song called I'm an Asshole. Evil plot to destroy the world, enjoy. This is their motto. And he said, you know, the problem we have is that this TV thing is just taking too long. We need to speed up the process of making your brains into sorbet, gooey, wonderful tasting mush. And he says, I'll tell you what, you help us turn everybody's brain into mush, and we will slurp your brains out last. He has this little tool coming out of his finger, goes into the guy's ear. He's got his little Bluetooth here. He doesn't even pay any attention. The probe is in his head. It goes through his head, pops the Bluetooth off. Bluetooth goes flying down here to the right. And Dennis Leary says, it's not soup yet. Okay, now I'm going to back out and go to, real quick here. This is Seth MacFarlane. I guess he does the voices for some cartoon. I think The Family Guy, maybe. Now you can see him standing here. This guy's laughing at his Hulu thing. I think The Family Guy, and he was doing voices earlier. Alien comes out of his belly, big, gnarly, sharp teeth, and there you go. This is a website called, a video called An Evil Plot to Destroy the World Because We Are Aliens. Okay, and I want to go back. Well, that's the, yeah, we'll just continue there. Okay, so Game on Earth 2512. Might have some other significance there. Who knows? Okay, roll back, yeah. This is the TV star guy. Tentacle comes out of his butt. An evil plot. Hulu. This is Hulu Plus. An evil plot to destroy the world. Enjoy. Okay, the hand comes out, and it's a pretty good size one. It pushes the guy's head down into his device. Okay. He's talking about, oh, this looks promising. I've been keeping my eye on this one. And he walks in the restaurant, and there's people with their heads in their devices. This is a TV star from the Hulu, one of the programs, and I'm going to continue, I guess. So you can see she's just walked by and stuck her straw in a milkshake-looking concoction of human brain. And her tongue is wrapped around this thing several times. She said we're aliens. It's what we do, something like that. So there's her crossbow, dressed up as her character from whatever the heck show it is. All right, so I want to back this up because I'm going to come the other direction with it. Okay, so this one has these aliens stuck in here, and that's just, the shots from Dennis Leary, whatever that guy's name is, Seth MacFarlane. Okay, an evil plot to destroy the world. This is our motto. Because we're aliens, we're evil and proud of it. We can't wait to see how you all end. Your brains are useless to you. We're going to eat them. Doggone it, sorry. This isn't humor. This is hardcore evil, real evil. They are not humans. They are aliens. We're not talking about the TV actors, although probably some of them may be, but we are talking about aliens, real aliens. Okay, they're not real aliens. They're Nephilim, fallen angels, whatever you want to call it, demonic entities. But to destroy the world is their agenda for real. But why would they tell us? Well, because they have to not violate universal law that forbids a covert takeover of other planes, planets. You can't have a ET without a planet. In the Bible, there are no such thing as planets. People assume that that's, oh, planets are round, so the Earth has to be round. No, there is no such thing as a planet in the Bible. They're wandering stars. That's the correct terminology. Stick with it. You'll think more clearly. And it requires the rightful inhabitants to agree with being conquered and eliminated. Why would they tell us? Okay. These commercials, among many other revelations, are the aliens asking for permission to continue and advance their agenda of global conquest and elimination of humanity. They ask for permission by revealing their intentions to us in movies, series, etc., printed on the back of toothpaste fluoride. Call a doctor if you swallowed it. Yeah, it's that poisonous. But we pump it into the public water supply because it's good for you. No, it dumbs you down. Their agenda is public. You have the choice to inform yourself or you don't inform yourself and thereby agree with their agenda to kill you according to universal law. And they laugh hilariously all the way to the bank and all the way to the restaurant, their restaurant. Ecoscience by John Holdren describes in detail how they intend to kill us all and already do. Slow kill. You raise the temperature of the water just a little bit, just a little bit, just a little bit, and you can boil frogs alive, and we are being boiled alive. And this is not funny. It is not a story. It is not a joke. The high price of free corn about the hogs is true. It's just humanity that we're talking about. You're too lazy, too busy to read it. You're too proud. You're too ignorant to believe those that did read it, that it's a manual for our destruction. You're fine with being killed then. That's how it works. I put the link to the free ebook version of it in the description field and comment section, and again, that is in the thing called They're Aliens to Destroy the World, blah, blah, blah. So, all right. Now, where we're going to go is the guillotine, and these things here are supposedly casket liners. There's hundreds of thousands of them around. You can see pictures. You can see flyovers of them. This guy's lying in one. He's about 6 foot. It's about 8 feet long, I'm guessing. 7 feet anyway. You can put a whole casket in there, or you could put 5, 6, 7, maybe 10 bodies in there. There's a picture from the air of them. That's just one facility. There's another picture. 15 per stack. Boom, 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 boom. Count them up, tabulate it. You know, who knows how many. Okay. Now, this is just some stuff from a video. Rail chain tie-down assemblies. Who knows? Low price, technically acceptable. In other words, they work, but they're cheap. This is a bid, federal bid for 3,000 rail chain tie-down assemblies. Is this for cars or is it for people? They're saying this is what it's called for, but there's no connection from this to that unless they did show a picture on here. I don't know. So take it with a grain of salt, allegedly, and all that good stuff. For a fact, though, there's things going on in this country that should not be happening, never should have happened. Homeland Security, yeah, they're going to secure the homeland for the government. You are the cattle. We are the cattle. Police, rescue, right. Like police need that to drive through your door. There's another one. Police, right. These are striker and mine ramp resistant vehicles, MRAPs. Mine resistant ambush or anti-ambush personnel carriers. There's 2,300 of them across in the sheriff's departments around the country. Civilian inmate labor program. Do some work on, look on the internet. HSA, Homeland Security Administration. TSA, Traffic Safety Security Administration, okay, right. And you know how wonderful those people are, how gentle and fuzzy they are, sticking their hands up 85-year-old women's rear ends and molesting little kids and, patting down women with no clothes on. Wonderful people. Homeland Security Advanced Research Projects Agency. Oh, wow. ARPA and DARPA? Oh, boy. First time I saw that. That is, okay, that's spooky. Real spooky. Do your research on it. Do your own diligence. These are, from United States contracts. FEMA traders, who knows what they're there for. There's a lot of them, though. Are they jail cells? Same design. Chanel. Doesn't have the stripes on it. Same deal. FEMA's building a lot of these domes. These are forts. They're fortresses. They're basically bomb-proof. In Iraq and Afghanistan, choppers use them for target practice because they last quite a few weeks and hundreds of missiles before they finally bust through them. Or dozens and dozens of missiles. Looks like a church. Sure, it looks like a church. How many windows are in it? Wow, it kind of looks like a bomb-proof shelter to me. And they're tornado-proof. Yeah, they're tornado-proof. They're missile-proof. So, there's 5 of them out east of Tulsa, a little community there. probably enough to house the entire county population. So, all right, yep. Ted Gunderson, retired FBI, awesome guy, ran for president way back when. He said that there were 30,000, this was years ago, 30,000 guillotines in the country. Not going to go into it. This is from Dave Hodges' Common Sense show, so look that up. But both biblical and Islamic prophecy foretells a time when Christians will be beheaded by Muslims in great numbers. Not just only by Muslims, but by the Noahide laws. Who will behead these Christians? Take a look at Surah, chapter 47. When you encounter the unbelievers, he and his followers beheaded opponents, Christian and Muslim alike. I will cast dread into the hearts of the caliphs, beheaded tens of thousands of Christians, whatever. All right, point being is, do some research there. But here is the connection I'm making. When I studied, first thing I did when I got online, 2001, was a lot of research on aliens, Nephilim, fallen angels, and I came to the conclusion that that would be a great thing in the end times to deceive, lead many into deception, to create a great falling away. With the flat earth issue versus the global earth lie that took 500 years to brainwash everybody into believing, it's even bigger of a deception. Seeing that's how intense it is. So one of the things I came across repeatedly was Messiah said that woe to them that give suck in those days. Pray that your flight be not in winter. Pray that your flight be not on a Sabbath. When it comes time to flee for the hills. Why would he say give suck? Because entities that were, as it was in the days of Noah, is a big clue. One of the things that, as it was in the days of Noah, was there were giants. And these alien / Nephilim giants like to eat people, and the younger the better. And they also apparently really enjoy human brains. So there was there's a writer, Peter Hath. This is what comes when you read really widely. I'm a polymath. I'm sorry. I jump from topic to topic, but I make connections from topic to topic. Back when this guy Peter Hathaway Capsep was a great white hunter in Africa, and he has a story in one of his books about the killer baboons of Blackfontaine, and I guess I'm not seeing it, so I'll skip it. So he killer baboons of Blackfontaine, and they got to enjoy the taste of human brains, and so they would wait and consumed quite a bit of human brain material before the villagers finally got tired of it and packed up and left.